Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about planetary energies. That's right. Today we are talking about Saturn in retrograde. And I know Saturn's been in retrograde for a little bit of time, but it's only going to get stronger as we go through this time frame. So let me get you some dates about Saturn in retrograde, and then I'm going to talk about some new stuff that's coming up for people. So Saturn entered retrograde on February 26, 2022. It stationed and turned full retrograde on June 4th. And then on October 22nd, it will get out of retrograde and go into post-shadow energy until January 26, 2023. So Saturn is a planet that doesn't make it easy on us. Saturn is kind of that guy that keeps whipping us from behind, like, oh my gosh, you need to make changes, you need to keep upgrading, you need to keep doing this. Saturn is really all about discipline and responsibility and keep moving forward. Now, a lot of times that's a really okay energy, but sometimes Saturn can be a little bit on the harsh side, and really Saturn is the planet of karma. So when someone treats you bad or kind of like out of the blue, kind of doesn't really do what they said they're going to do or follow through, it's kind of like, where have I been in my life where I haven't stood up for what I told someone else I was going to do? Where is it that I faltered and didn't follow through? And so a lot of times karma comes in like that. It kind of gives us a good kick in the pants of like, these are the things that you need to really work on. These are the things you really, really have to think about. And that's important to understand during this time frame. It's not necessarily going back to that same person, but kind of understanding like that happened to me, so I can make new changes. So I can change how I've been working with people around me, so I can make some upgrades and kind of make some new changes and be a different person. It's really important with that way. It's one of those. There are some limitations with Saturn. I will say learning to manage within restrictions, like I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do this, or kind of like this is kind of like social norms say this, but I really want to do this, kind of like pushing that energy. So kind of like, where are you kind of like pushing too much discipline on yourself, and where are you not putting enough discipline on yourself? This is all about you and you making different choices. Saturn also governs time, and so during Saturn in retrograde, during this whole time frame, almost for a year, it can be like, I lost track of time, I can't find time, and it's one of those, when are you being governed by time, and when are you kind of telling time what you want to do? I have 2 hours, I'm going to do this. I have 3 hours and I want to take this time and sit by the pool. When am I going to have the time to do this? And putting that in there and literally sealing that deal with putting it on your taskmaster, which is kind of like really your calendar. I'm going to schedule this time in. And a lot of times people are like, really, I have to schedule these things? Yes, because if not, then you'll put other things in that time slot, and then you're kind of overbooked, or you don't ever do what you told the person you were going to do, or told yourself like, hey, I was going to go sit by the pool today and kind of take some time off and just rest. But I never happened because I never allowed that time to get on my calendar. So make sure that you are allowing this time to kind of really set where you want to go, what you want to do, and how you want to deal with life. So this is really important. Saturn is all about kind of like saying yes to things, putting them on your calendar, and saying no to other things and going, I pass on this. I'm choosing not to do this. That's a really good thing to kind of be aware of. And the things that you want to be ruled by, yes, put them on your calendar. The things that you don't want to be ruled by, don't put them on your calendar, or don't even say yes to them, because you're saying yes to something that you really, really don't want. And Saturn can be a really great teacher of what do you want to do, what do you not want to do, and how do you want to do this. This is really important. So this is kind of to keep coming up, and I've seen this a lot over the last few weeks. Now let's talk about Saturn in retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, because that's what we're dealing with. And Aquarius energy along with Saturn is gonna want to make us kind of like make some changes, upgrade our lives during this time frame, and kind of make new commitments and navigating in new ways and directions than we really haven't in the past. So if we've been kind of like, oh, I'll remember on my own and I don't want to put it on my calendar, now you're going to be like, okay, I figured it out. I really do need to put this on my calendar. Or this is something I really don't want to do, so I'm going to call that person over. Boop, 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 boop. I'm really changing my mind, and I'm really not wanting to do this anymore. Or I'm not allowing that on my calendar anymore. And making some good, hard choices for yourself. Because when we get out of Saturn in retrograde, it's a really important time frame to understand this is important for all of us. If you're overcommitted, then you make commitments in that area, or you're not making commitments in that area, and it's time that you could be doing something else. If you're kind of doing something that you don't like, that's something that I would definitely go, I'm taking this off my calendar. I'm choosing to take this off my calendar. I am choosing to remove this out of my life. And I wish them well. I don't wish them any harm, but I'm choosing to do differently now and allow that energy to come up. And this is a great time in Saturn in retrograde to really think about, is this item that I'm putting on my calendar, is it getting me closer to my goal, or is it getting me further away? Really important, because so many times things that we put on our calendar, we think, oh, it's getting us towards something, but really take that time to really think about it. Is this energy really making my life easier? Is it getting me towards my goal, down my life path, where I want to be? And if it's a no, then say no. It is completely okay to say no to energy of going, I don't want that. I thought I did. Or maybe you want me to do this, and maybe I'll just show up and be part of the dinner and not necessarily sell items or do something else, or kind of like overcommit. So this is a really good time to kind of like, where is it that I really choose to spend my time? Where is it that I really choose to commit my time, energy, and effort into? And it doesn't mean it's a terrible thing. It just means that it's time that I make myself a priority, and that I only open up to things that are really beneficial for me. Let's pull some angel cards. Let's put them the right way. Put them angel cards this way, and get us some more information about Saturn in retrograde during this time frame. Now we're dealing with full retrograde in Saturn. See, I've got a couple of cards. This one is probably the most intense one that I've got coming forward, and this one is all about playfulness. When you play with your calendar, when you really set time on your calendar and you really hide by that, it's one of those, it makes your calendar playful. It makes it playful with you and your energy and where you want to go in your life. And like I said, if it's not something getting you closer to what you want in your life, then maybe it's something you need to say no to. Study. When you take time to really study how your calendar has been working for you, or how karma has been kicking your booty for the last few months, or not kicking your booty, that's the really kind of the interesting part. Like, where is it that I want to go in my life? Where is it that I want to really push my energy and allow this to come forward? Like I said, Saturn is all about structure and discipline. And so when you study something, you've got to put that structure and that discipline in there. Are you allowing this energy to come forward? Are you really taking the time to study, the time that you know that you require to study it? Children. Saturn is all about children because it's all about karma, and kids really are a strong believer in karma, and it's one of those, I think, not until we're adults we realize, like, wow, karma's a little bit differently than we thought. A lot of times, like, they're expecting that instant gratification, and sometimes that happens, and a lot of times it doesn't. So that's a really important thing to understand and to study of, like, hey, this is where my energy is going, or this is what I really choose to do, and commit to it like a child. Child's going to be there always. Divine guidance. This video is divinely guided because I love talking about planets in retrograde, and I love teaching you how to work through this energy easier. Divinely guided of, you're seeing this video for a reason. You are truly seeing it for a reason. And what you should understand is this is important not only for you, but everybody else in your world. Everybody else in your world. When you talk about this video, when you tell other people about it, it's going to move energy forward. And people are like, oh my gosh, I really understand what you're talking about. If something isn't moving you towards your life path, say no. Intention. What is your intention to learn during this time frame? What is it that you're intending to allow in your life at this time frame? If it's something that is moving you down the road, moving to a better place, getting you to the job, that your dream job that you want, or that dream partner that you really, really want, great. But if it isn't, set new intentions. Set new intentions of going, I'm not doing this anymore. I am choosing to use my time more wisely with this. I am choosing to use my time way better than all of this has been in the past for me. And I'm going to upgrade my energy and how I'm working with things and how I'm dealing with things right here and right now, so I can make changes for my future. Saturn is only in retrograde 5 months out of the whole year. Now, granted, it's almost a whole year by the time you kind of like pre-shadow, post-shadow, all that kind of stuff, but really is in retrograde about 5 months. So it's one of those, you have 5 months to get this together. You have 5 months to figure this out. You have 5 months to make some changes, release a lot of karma, and get down your life path so you're in a much better place when Saturn gets out of retrograde. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.